Today we will discuss accounting concept others part 2. We will discuss cost concept or historical cost concept, matching concept and dual aspect concept because first three we have discussed in previous video. Let's start with the cost concept or historical cost concept. An asset is recorded in the books of accounts at the price paid to acquire it, and the cost is the basis for all subsequent accounting of asset. Asset is recorded at cost at the time of its purchase but is systematically reduced in value by charging depreciation. Suppose I have purchased a machinery in 2005 worth rupees 50,000, but in 2020 the price of same machinery has reduced and the current price is 30,000. It means machine has reduced its value, and when any asset reduces its value, that is called depreciation. So, market value of asset may change with the passage of time but for accounting purpose it continues to be shown in the books of account at its book value or at its acquired value. This is cost concept. According to this concept, an asset is ordinarily recorded in the books of account at the price at which it was acquired. For example, if a business entity purchases a building for rupees 20 lakh, it would be recorded in the books at this figure 20 lakh. Subsequent increase or decrease in the market value of building would not be recorded in the books of account. If 2 years later the market value of building shoots up to 60 lakh, this is the market value and this is the book value which we have recorded. The increased value, it means that 40,000 or we can say 60 lakh increased value will not be ordinary recorded in the books of account. Why? Because historically we have recorded this value, not 60 lakh, because this is the current market value. This is historical concept. Assets should be shown on the balance sheet at cost of purchase instead of current value. Example, the cost of fixed assets is recorded at the date of acquisition cost. The acquisition cost includes all expenditure made to prepare the asset for its intended use. It included the invoice price of the assets, freight charges, insurance or installation cost. Now, matching concept or matching principle we can say. It is important to match revenues of period with the expenses of that period to determine correct profit for the accounting period. The matching concept requires that all costs, past, present, or future, must be matched against the revenue they give rise to. A Ford dealer sells an automobile to customer in year 2008 that it had purchased in December 2007. So, example of past expense, purchase cost of automobile from 2007. Example of present expense, sales commission pay in January 2008. An example of future expense, estimated warranty repairs to be done in the future. First, revenue should be recognized in this concept and then cost incurred for generating that revenue should be recognized. Following points you can consider during matching concepts. When item of revenue is included in P&L account, when item of revenue included in P&L account, all expenses incurred on it should be shown as expense in P&L account. When some expenses like insurance premium, is paid partly for the next year also. The part relating to next year will be shown as expense only next year, not this year. Cost of goods remaining unsold at the end of year, together with the expenses incurred on it, must be carried forward to the next year. So these points should be considered during this concept. Now, dual concept or duality principle we can say. Every business transaction has double effect. There are two sides of every transaction. This is evident when we study the accounting term assets, capital and liability, right? We will discuss in 6th chapter accounting equation. Assets, we know it very well, these are valuable articles owned by the business, and capital, it is the proprietor's claim against the assets of the business, and the cash is the asset of business itself. Capital basically equal to assets. Liabilities. Capital invested by the proprietor falls short, so business has to borrow funds, and thus the loan on the side of liability of the firm, and on the other side it will be form of cash or other assets. It means one transaction affect two accounts. This is the formula over here. Capital plus liability is equals to assets. We can manipulate this formula in three ways. This is the dual aspect concept. Now, revenue recognition concept, to recognize our revenue. Revenue is considered to have been realized when a transaction has been entered into an obligation to receive the amount has been established. It is to be noted that recognizing revenue and receipts of an amount are two separate aspects. Revenue means the amount which is added to capital as a result of business operation. Revenue is earned by sale of goods or by providing a services. Concept of revenue recognition determine the time or the particular period in which revenue is realized. Let's take an example of it. An enterprise sell goods in Feb 2013 and receive that amount in April. Revenue of this sale should be recognized in Feb 2013 when the goods are sold. Realization, when it is realized. Revenue should be recognized when major economic activity have been completed. It means major activity completed in Feb 2013. And sales are recognized when goods are sold and delivered to customer or services are rendered. This is realization. Now, recognition of revenue. Realization concept develops rules for the recognition of revenue. The concept provides that revenues are recognized when it is earned and not when money is received. Receipt in advance for the supply of goods should be treated as prepaid income under current liability. Since revenue is a principal component in the measurement of profit, the timing of its recognition has a direct effect on the profit. Recognition criteria for revenues. The uncertain profit should not be estimated. Definitely, if profit is uncertain, we don't know anything about that profit, should not be estimated. Whereas, reported profits must be verifiable. Revenue is recognized when the major earning process has substantially been completed. Further costs for the completion of the earning process are very slight or can be accurately ascertained, and the buyer has admitted his liability to pay for the goods or services provided, and the ultimate collection is relatively certain. There are some exceptions to this rule of revenue recognition. In case of sales on installment basis, first we will discuss about the exceptions. What are the basic exceptions? In case of sale on installment basis, the amount collected in installment is treated as realized. And in case of mining, revenue is recognized in accounting period when production is made, even though a sale has not been made. There is an example of it: goods sent to our customer on sale or on return basis. This means the customer don't pay for the goods until they confirm to buy. And if they don't buy, those goods will return to us. And goods on the sale or return basis will not be treated as normal sales and should be included in the closing stock unless the sales have been confirmed by the customers. Some problem is there in the recognition of revenue. It means we face some difficulty to recognize our revenue. Revenue is recognized when there is a sale, normally. The point of sale in the earning process is selected as the most appropriate time to record revenues. However, if revenue is earned in long and continuous process, it is difficult to determine portion of revenue which is earned at each stage. At each stage, we are unable to find out our part of revenue if it is for the long period for the continuous purpose. Therefore, revenue is permitted to be recorded other than at the point of sales. Some exceptions are there. We have already discussed. Let's discuss in detail. First, long-term contracts. If long-term contract is there, then it is impossible or it is very difficult to find out revenue at each stage of production. Owing to long duration of long-term contracts, part of the total profit estimated to have been arisen from the accounting period should be included in the profit and loss account. Hire purchase sale. Hire purchase sales have long collection period. Revenue should be recognized when cash received rather than when the sale is made. And the interest charged on hire purchase sale constitutes the profit of transaction. Last, receipts from subscription is just like a revenue. Publisher receives subscriptions before it sends newspaper magazines to its customer, and it is proper to defer revenue recognition until service is rendered. And the last, however, part of subscription income can be recognized as it is received in order to match against the advertisement expenses incurred. These are the accounting concepts which we have discussed today. Revise it, try to make short notes with the combination of video and book as well. Thank you so much.